Jayam Vishnu Padapanamaham Saprira Chakcharya Ashtadada Satta Shri Srima. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shira Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shira Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnu Padapanamaham Saprira Chakcharya Ashtadada Satta Shri Srima. His Divine Grace Shira Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sakaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinan Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Gangamai Chamunamai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Harirama Sankirtan Ki Jai. ISKCON Yutvagadam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Hari 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 Bo. Oh glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna. Oh glories to the Sambodhi Krishna. Oh glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis. Oh glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Chaya Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Udamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter A, text number 13, 14, and 15. Because there's no purport to text number 13, 14. So I will read the Sanskrit and translation myself, and then we can read the Sanskrit together to verse 15, Tashyata shushma binivishtat drishyate antagato to rajashataniyam gunena kanam nugatena vida sushamstada vidyatena vidisha. Translation. The subtle subject matter of creation on which the Lord's attention was fixed was agitated by the material modes of passion, and thus the subtle form of creation pierced through his abdomen. Text number 14. Sapatmat kosha sahashodatishta karena kama pratibodhanena svardochishata saridam vishalam vidyotayam aka vivatmayoni. Translation. Piercing through this sum total form of the fructive activities of the living entities took the shape of the bud of a lotus flower, generated from the personality of Vishnu, and by his supreme will, it illuminated everything like the sun, and dried up the vast water of devastation. So now let's do text number 15 together. Tal, Loka, Padmam, Sa, U, Eva, Vishnuhu, Pravivishat, Pranavisha Sava Gunavabasham Tasmin Swayam Vedamayo Vidata Swayambhuvam Yam Sma Vadanti Sobut Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Pravivishat Sava Gunava Basham Tasmin Svayam Vadam Mayo Vidata Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smavadanti Sochbu Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Pravivishat Sava Gunava Basham Tasmin Svayam Vedamayo Vidata Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smavadanti Sotbu Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Pravivisha Sava Gunava Basham Tasmin Svayam Vadamayo Vidata Swayam Bhuvayam Smavadanti Sobu Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smavadanti Sobu Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Pravivisha Sava Gunava Basham Tasmin Svayam Vedamayo Vidatam Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smavadanti Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Pravivisha Mataji. Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smavadanti Sobu Talokapatmam Savu Eva Vishnu Tavi Visa Sava Kunabnasam Tasmi Svaya Vedamaya Vidatam Swayam Bhuvayam Smavadanti Sobhum Tat that Loka universal Padmam lotus flower Saha he U certainly Eva factually Vishnuhu the Lord Pravivishat entered into Sava O Guna Avabhasham a reservoir of all modes of nature Tasmin in which Swayam in person Veda Mayaha the personality of Vedic wisdom Vedata controller of the universe Swayambhuvam self-born Yam whom Sma in the past Vadanti do say Saha he Abud generated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Into that universal lotus flower, Lord Vishnu personally entered as the super soul, and when it was thus impregnated with all the modes of material nature, the personality of Vedic wisdom, whom we call the self-born, was generated. Purport. This lotus flower is the universal Virat form, or the gigantic form of the Lord in the material world. It becomes amalgamated in the personality of Godhead Vishnu in his abdomen at the time of dissolution, and it becomes manifest at the time of creation. This is due to Garbhodakshya Vishnu, who enters into each of the universes. In this form is the sum total of all the fructive activities of the living entities conditioned by material nature. And the first of them, namely Brahma, or the controller of the universe, is generated from this lotus flower. This firstborn living being, unlike all the others, has no material father, and thus he is called self-born or Swayambhu. He goes to sleep with Narayan at the time of devastation, and when there is another creation, he is born in this way. From this description, we have the conception of three: the gross Virat form, the subtle Hiranyagarbha, and the material creative force, Brahma. Om Jnana Timinandasya Jnananjana Sharakaya Chakshu Uminitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtan Stapidan Yena Buddhare Swayan Rupa Kada Mahyan Tada Tiswam Padantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Lakunata Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Sabatuta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinna Bandhu Chagapate Gopesha Kopika Kamta Radha Kamta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindava Nishvari Rishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakau Pataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishvanebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Taloka Patmam Savu Eva Vishnu, Pravivishat Sava Gunavabasam, Tasmin Svayam Vedamayo Vidatta, Swayambhuvam Yansma Vadanti Sobu. Translation again. Into that universal lotus flower, Lord Vishnu personally entered as the super soul, and when it was thus impregnated with all the modes of material nature, the personality of Vedic wisdom, whom we call the self-born, was generated. So, here, Maitreya Muni, he was describing the birth of Lord Brahma to, Vidura. So Maitreya Muni, he said here that Lord Vishnu, he personally entered into the universal lotus flower as the super soul. And when it was thus impregnated with all the modes of material nature, the personality of Vedic wisdom, whom we call self-born, was generated. That means Lord Brahma was generated in this way. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he said that Prabhupada, he said that the controller of the universe, Lord Brahma, is generated from this lotus flower. So Lord Brahma, this firstborn living being, unlike all the others, has no material father, and thus he is called self-born or Swayambhu. So we all have experienced that in this material world, a person is born because of the unite of the father and mother. But here we could understand that Lord Brahma, he doesn't follow this rule. Yeah. That's why here, he is called Swayambhu, self-born. Lord Brahma is actually a very great personality. He is actually one of the 12 Mahajans. It reminds me of a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto. It says here that, one second, let me go to the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said here, Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, Kumara Kapilo Manuhu, Pralado Janako Bhishmo, Bharya Vyasaki Vayam. This means Lord Brahma, Bhagavan Narada, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Lord Kapila is the son of Devahuti, Swayambhu Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, grandfather Bhishma, Bhari Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, and myself. This myself means Yamaraj. Because this is the instruction that Yamaraj was given to the Yamadutas. So therefore here Yamaraj, he was saying, and myself know the real religious principles. That's why Lord Brahma, he started, our own sampradaya. So we all know that in order to become successful in the spiritual life, one has to take shelter of a sampradaya. So actually, in the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhu, he said that we have 4 sampradayas. One sampradaya coming from Lord Brahma, which is called Brahma Sampradaya. And another one coming from Lord Shiva, that is called Ruja Sampradaya. And another one coming from Lakshmi Devi, and that one is called Sri Sampradaya. And the last one is coming from 4 Kumaras, so that is called Kumara Sampradaya. So we have these 4 sampradaya. Prabhupada, he stressed that one must take shelter of one of these 4 sampradayas in order to understand the most confidential religious system. And then Prabhupada said, in the Padma Purana, it is said, Sampradaya vihinaye manchaste nishpara mata. If one does not follow the 4 recognized disciplic succession, his mantra or initiation is useless. And then Prabhupada, he continues saying that in the present days, there are many apa sampradayas, or sampradayas which are not bona fide, which have no link to authorities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Kumaras, or Lakshmi. People are misguided by such sampradayas. The Shastras say that being initiated in such a sampradaya is a useless waste of time, for it will never enable one to understand the real religious principle. So we are lucky. Yeah, we are coming from a bona fide sampradaya, directly from Lord Brahma. While preparing the class this morning, I realized that in the Bhagavad Gita, there are a lot of information about Lord Brahma also. I just want to share a little bit, information that I found in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, start from text number 17 to text number 19, there are lots of information about Lord Brahma. Text Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, text number 17, here it is said, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahaya Brahmano Vidu Ratin Yuga Sahasratam Teho Racha Vido Jana. Translation: by human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. So that means Lord Brahma's one day is really has very long time. We know that the duration of Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. And twice of that is the time for Dwapara Yuga. That means Dwapara Yuga is 864,000 years. And 3 times of Kali Yuga, that is the time of Treta Yuga. That means 1,000,000 296,000 years. And 4 times the time of Kali Yuga. So that is the time of Satya Yuga. That means 1,728,000 years. So Lord Brahma's one day consists of 1,000 this kind of yugas. So that is really, very long time. And actually, Srila Prabhupada, he calculated that's about 311 trillion and 40 billion years. That's the, one day of Lord Brahma. And similarly, what's that? That's only one day. Is it? Let me see here. Prabhupada, he said here, these 4 yugas rotating 1,000 times comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years by this 100 years by Earth's calculation total to 311 trillion and 40 billion Earth years. You are right, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah, you are right. By this calculation, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable. But from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are not in constant flux. In the text number 18, it is also said here, at the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entity becomes manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. And in text number 19, it is said here, again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entity come into being. And with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are hopelessly annihilated. So even in Bhagavad Gita, we also got lots of information about Lord Brahma. Yeah. It also reminds me, a story of Lord Brahma during Krishna's pastime, where he steals the cowherd boars and calves. Yeah, there's a nice story about that in Krishna book. I want to read a little bit. It's very interesting story here. It is said here, at the time when the demon Aghasura was killed, and the demons and the demigods were looking on the incident with great surprise, Lord Brahma, who was born of the lotus flower growing out of the navel of Vishnu, also came to see. He was surprised how a little boy like Krishna could act so wonderfully. Although he was informed that the little cowherd boy was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he wanted to see more of the Lord's glorious pastime. And thus he stole all the calves and cowherd boys and took them to a different place. Lord Krishna, therefore, in spite of searching for the calves, could not find them, and he even lost his boyfriend on the bank of the Yamuna. where they had been taking the lunch. In the form of cowherd boar, Lord Krishna was very little. In the form of a cowherd boar, Lord Krishna was very little in comparison to Brahma. But because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could immediately understand that all the calves and boars had been stolen by Brahma. And then we all know that, Krishna immediately expanded himself into all the calves and the cowherd boars. And then Lord Brahma realized that he has committed great offense. And then he came and bowed down at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. So sometimes, actually many times we could understand that the demigods, because they are very powerful in a powerful position, they tend to forget the supremacy of Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. That's why they are doing things like this. Yeah. So I just stop here. Are there any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhu. Actually, Krishna is the source of all the sampradaya. Actually, Lord Brahma, he get the knowledge from Lord Krishna, and then in return, he teach his son, Nard Muni, and then Nard Muni instruct this knowledge to Vyasadeva. Actually, Krishna is the source of all the sampradaya. They are all from Lord Krishna. They are all from Lord Krishna, actually. Disciplic sampradaya means disciplic succession. Yeah. Yeah. So Krishna is the source of all the disciplic succession. Any other? Yes, Prabhu. Microphone, please. Can we get the microphone?
Hare Krishna.
Oh, good. It's working.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Very beautiful presentation. So the four sampradayas do offer the 5 rasas with Krishna, or only the Brahma Madhva sampradaya offers the Madhurya, Vatsalya, Dasya, what?
Say it again, Prabhu. The what?
If these 4 sampradayas, all of them offer the 5 relationship with Krishna, like the 5 rasas, like Madhurya, Vatsalya, Dasya, and neutral, and
Actually, I have no idea about that. But, these 4 sampradaya can all take its follower back to the spiritual world, That I know. But exactly what kind of relationship with Krishna, I do not know. We have never read about that. Yes.
So, all the 4 Brahma, the 4 sampradayas, they can give you knowledge and they guide you how to serve Krishna in different rasas or mellows. And the uniqueness about our sampradaya, Brahma, Gaudiya especially, the Gaudiyas, the Vaishnavas, are the ones who teach us about the intimacy of a personal relationship with Krishna, not as an awe and reverence, but actually as a friend and a conjugal and mother-father relationship, parental relationship. So that is the uniqueness. But otherwise, the other four are bona fide, genuine. You can understand about God. But if you really want to know more about his personal relation, the personal relationship, that uniqueness is only within the Gaudiya Madhva Vaishnavas.
Thank you very much. That's a really good point. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much for coming. Gantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauranga Bhaktavinda ki jai. Haribo, haribo. Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Really appreciate that. Thank you. 识呢，对我们来说是非常的困难。通过学习这门知识啊，特别是这么多年以来，跟这里的这些资深的奉献者这几天一样，我深深体会到了这物质世界啊，我们现在所穿针的这个世界啊，就像一所大的监狱。因为什么呢？因为不论是谁来到这个物质世界无论你是王侯将相也好，还是这个社会美女也好，他最终都得衰老得病，最后死。没有人能够摆脱这种命运。我们